So now your next project is going to be Steve Jobs. Tell us how you're going to be conceiving this character of Jobs. I mean, he really seems to, he was a genius, and yet, as we know, a very flawed genius.
Sure.
So how are you thinking about Jobs?
Well, first, there's no point in writing about someone unless they're flawed. The perfect people who probably don't exist aren't that interesting, and typical people also don't exist. There's no such thing as a typical person. So, and Steve, I don't know if you knew him or not, was certainly atypical and a genius and extremely difficult.
And you did know him quite well, right?
I'm sorry?
You did know Jobs quite well.
No,
he wrote to you, didn't he?
We knew each other over the phone. He would call me from time to time, out of the blue, just to compliment me on something he had just seen, and then the second to last time I spoke to him was he asked if I would help him with the Stanford commencement address. The last time I spoke to him was he asked me to write a Pixar movie. I had told him that I love Pixar, that I'd never seen a studio make this kind of difference in movie making. That these were tremendous accomplishments in movies, but that I didn't think I would be able to make an inanimate object talk. And he said, once you make them talk, they won't be inanimate anymore. But it was the way he said it that was so interesting to me. It was all but, he might as well have said, "Are you stupid?" But it was warmer than that. Listen, my approach to Steve Jobs is that, and it's fascinating because I'm meeting with all the people in Steve's life now, from Wozniak to all the people who are around for the Macintosh, for, you know, if you don't know the life of Steve Jobs, he was booted out of his own company, Apple, and then brought back and very triumphantly did arguably his best work then when he came back. But this entire movie, so I've been able to talk to these people who revere him in spite of the fact that he made all of them cry at one point or another, but he made all of them better at what they were doing. And this movie, I hope I don't get killed by the studio for giving too much away, but this entire movie is going to be 3 scenes, and 3 scenes only, that all take place in real time. Real time is when a half hour for you in the audience is the same as a half hour for the character on the screen. There'll be no time cuts. And each of these 3 scenes is going to take place before a product launch. The first one, backstage before a product launch. The first one being the Mac, and the second one being Next, after he had left Apple, and the third one being the iPod. And basically my goal is, I don't know if you remember the ad campaign that he did. It was the Think Different campaign. Here's to the crazy ones. That's how it began.
Yeah.
If I can end the movie with that text, with that voiceover, here's to the crazy ones, if I can earn that ending, then I'll have written the movie that I want to write.
Well, it's certainly one I think we're all going to want to see. So thank you so much, Aaron Sorkin.
My pleasure.
For being with you. Yeah.